Hi everyone, welcome to episode 59 of the Codependent Knitters. I had to double check it was 59, it is, because we're doing it over, because the last one we had just a lot of technical, like really bad internet connection, and it wasn't usable. So we're doing it over, and it's been a while, and we'll just give it our best shot.
Right?
Yeah. So if you're new to us, hello and welcome, and we're glad you're here. And if you're coming back to us, thank you and welcome back. We really appreciate if you subscribe to our channel, and you can also turn on notifications. There's a little bell icon, and that will alert you when a new video is posted. We're running about one every month to month and a half.
Yeah,
I think frequency, right? Yeah. We have a knit along winner to announce. We could do that right now for the Musselburgh Mania.
Let's do that first.
Okay. There are some really awesome Musselburghs in the Ravelry project group. And we did a random number selection, and the winner was number 18, who is Hook and Stick. And I love what she did, because it looks like, I don't know if it's Montreal Canadiens, if it's intentionally Montreal Canadiens colors, but she said it was her hubby's birthday, and she did it in worsted weight. So there's another example of how versatile this pattern is.
Yeah,
right?
It's kind of just a pattern that you can run away with.
Yeah. So congrats, Hook and Stick. Get in touch with us, and the prize is this gorgeous skein of Leo and Roxy yarn, and the color is Frontline, and it was their nod to all the frontline workers during COVID. Oh, yeah. And it's just beautiful gradient, variegated blues, and there's a little bit of purple tones in there. You can see it's really gorgeous. So this is Leo and Roxy 80/20 sock, which you could also use to make another Musselburgh.
Ooh, that would be a pretty one too. Oh, these are addictive.
Yeah,
they're bad.
They are. I have another one on my needles. We'll get to that in the whips. Do you? Are you done with those?
No, I don't have one on the go right now, but I have one. I have an FO. You want to see it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I did the dark charcoal one. So I did and I was talking about doing the light marl. So here we've got the light marl, and it's pretty cute. I love it.
That's the Kroy again.
Yes, it's the Kroy again. And then of course I
love it.
I love it. It's so awesome, and it's so warm. I went for a walk the other day because it was a bit chilly here, and it was too hot. So it'll have to be one of those ones. I think I'll wait till winter. So yeah. Okay,
well, I got to go grab it, but I'll show you my whip now since we're talking about them. Yeah. I thought I was done with them, but I cast on another one. So I had two skeins of this Fleece Artist. It was the National Parks series that they did. This is going back a few years. Yeah.
I think
so they did. They do have some stuff again, right?
Yeah.
Well, I bought it a couple years ago when they first did it, and they did a colorway for a national park in each province and territories. So this is to represent Banff National Park. Isn't it gorgeous? And this is actually a one ply 100% merino, so not suitable for socks. And I've had them sitting there, and I thought that would make a really nice Musselburgh, and colors that maybe a guy would like to wear, because I've done a lot of purples and pinks and things that I like.
Traditionally girly.
Yeah, so here we go.
Okay, that's not how I thought that would turn out.
Me too. I thought it would be very dark with flashes, like flashes of color, but
that's amazing.
And right,
you know what? You don't think about how, like, I know it looks different from the skein to the cape to the, but sometimes it's just so drastic. Like, that is crazy.
Yeah. So you can see right here how there's kind of like a big section of dark. When I finished, before I started, I wound the skein into 2 cakes, because I thought if it starts really pooling or flashing, then I can helical knit them. When I finished the increases for the gauge for the size I wanted, it was doing it to the point where half the hat was dark and the other half, the other side was all the color. And it was not, I actually tore it back a couple rows. It was not changing. So it wasn't even gonna do the swirl, right?
Okay.
And I thought, okay, let's put a stop to that. So I started helical knitting sort of with the other color. So I'm getting more of a micro stripe now.
Okay.
Yeah. So I took care of that. So that's something that, you know, if you don't want or don't like the flashing or pooling or when it spirals, to anticipate, if you anticipate that might happen and you don't want that to happen, you can pre-wind your cake into 2 balls. And then the helical method is ideal for a project like this, where all you're doing is going in circles. And and there are videos, if you haven't heard about that. It's a method where you're changing skeins every round, but you're just changing it a couple of stitches down by dropping the yarn and picking up the yarn that you dropped on the previous row.
Now, I find if I am helical knitting this part, I will actually skip, make sure I leave enough for the increases. If I'm doing a raglan,
yes,
that type of thing. I'm never increasing I'm never changing in the
increases. Yeah. And that's actually a good point, because I've done that with sweaters too. And I don't start off, or I haven't started off helical knitting right from the start. I kind of go for a bit and then I start blending in the next skein when I have a little bit more fabric, like a little bit more depth, so that there's more stitches across. And I always start at the back, the beginning of the back, right after the raglan. So I have all that time for the helical to sort of catch up to where the other raglans are.
Now, I find that it depends. If I have to, like if I'm doing a sweater where there's short rows in the back, I don't have to helical knit because you're going back and forth, so you don't get that. But I usually do it right after the increases, like the short rows. Like, what are those things?
And
short rows.
Well, on this sweater, I did it across the back.
Yeah.
Because it was a V-neck.
Yeah.
So, I'll show you this sweater in a minute.
Yeah. Well, I find sometimes because talking about designs and stuff, but when you have that down the side here, I don't know that I would helical knit in anywhere in the design, because then that'll mess up with your count, right?
Yeah.
So that's the important part.
And I can talk about that when I talk about our FOs, because I did do the sleeves as well. So yeah, exactly. And it wouldn't be necessary if you have a color work yoke, right? Because you're going to have different colors. You don't need to helical knit your mains, so you can start it after and not have to, worry about where you are in the design. Yeah. So Musselburghs, and we've talked about one FO and one whip already. Yay!
Yay! On a roll.
I'm really loving knitting that.
Yeah, it's one of those things that you can do while you're not doing anything or waiting.
Yeah. Hey, so things we've done since our last episode. We had a couple of events. We had I came to visit Lisa, and we went to the Musselburgh Yarn Connection.
Yes, that's right at the end of basically at the end of my road type of thing. I don't have it with me, but I do. I've been there quite a bit. It's a nice little store.
It is. She has a really good selection of.
Yeah, and it's beautiful.
Just a little bit of everything.
Yeah, and it's beautiful and sunny in the location. It's funny because her old location is totally different than that.
Yeah. And
this is much more suited to her and her personality, and any yarn store would be lucky to have the light she has.
She had first of all, she had samples for everything, which was fantastic.
Right. Right.
So many samples.
I wish stores knew that and understood how important samples are.
Yeah, a lot of them do, but yeah, sometimes you go into a store and there just isn't many samples, and samples sell yarn.
It's not just the samples. Can you label the samples? What pattern it is, what it's made of? That would be extremely helpful when you're shopping.
Yes. Well, so she had samples up of, this is one of her designs. I bought several of her patterns. It's the Pixie Twist hat. And it comes in like baby to adult. So she had little kits made up, and they use little mini skeins, or you could use scraps, or you could do one color if you wanted. But she had little kits made up with little baby, like for a baby size, fingering with mohair. And I bought, well, actually, I didn't buy one of the kits, but she had a whole rack of a bunch of the Richard DeVries little minis. So I picked out my own colors, and it's just sort of gradient pinks. So there's like the natural to the light speckled pink to a darker pink.
That's pretty.
And then you hold it with mohair. So this is Diamond Bliss Divine, 24% silk, 76% mohair. So it is all natural fiber mohair. And then a pom-pom on top, and I have pink pom-poms. So I think this is going to be adorable. I just wanted to knit it because it's so cute.
Did it come with a pink pom-pom?
The kits had pom-poms, but I have some pink pom-poms. So I bought the supplies, but not a kit.
It depends. It would look really cute with like a cream colored one.
It would. And I think I have some of those too. So yeah, Pixie Twist Hat. Need to cast that on. And then I bought a few other of her patterns. She's got sock patterns. So there's this one. They are available on Ravelry. This was a collection. So there was a hat and a shawl, and she doesn't have the other one here. There was a hat and a shawl, and I thought there was one other item.
I think I go by that bridge every day when I drop the kids off at school.
Oh, was that the one we passed?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
This is that simple adult sweater. This looks like it's done, like if you did it like a Noro,
that'd be cool, yeah.
Yeah. So you could use like a color changing yarn or a gradient. And then for self-striping yarn, this is super cute. It's a little baby cardigan and hat.
Yeah. My mom,
I think that's adorable.
My mom's making that for someone.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love it. And there's socks too. So yeah, I bought a bunch of patterns. What did you get there? You did pick up a bunch of yarn there, didn't you?
I did. You know what? I put it away. I don't know exactly where it is right now, but I bought navy cotton, and it's a nice navy. It's got that little bit of royal, but not too much. It's not too black, so it's like a really pretty navy. And I got cream, so I want to do like a nautical sweater with the stripes, navy with cream stripes. So I think that would look really cool. I've looked at it a couple of times and thought maybe well. So yeah, I think that's good.
We also went to Kitchener, to the Kitchener Waterloo Knitters Guild Knitters Fair.
Okay, so I have to say something. I did not buy anything there. I don't think I didn't buy anything there, but I was so happy to see everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, I was so happy. You and I went the night before and hung out, and it was awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Exactly. And it was good. I took my time and saw a lot of booths, and I did buy a bit of stuff. Some of it, I bought some one-of-a-kinds that Leo and Roxy had there. I bought a chainmail bracelet, and I don't have it in here, but I can pop a picture on the screen. It's by Lisa Ridout.
She does beautiful stuff.
Yeah, she makes, so I bought a bracelet. However, she also had shawl pins, just a lot of beautiful handmade jewelry. Oh. But my two special finds, I got this Gobsmacked gradient gobstopper.
Nice.
Let me just make sure the colors. Yes, that's exact. Oh, is it ever? Oh, okay, it's just because I blocked the light.
That's nice.
Yeah. Right. And this is fingering weight. So I thought this would be really neat in a colorwork yoke, like to use the gradient as the colorwork, right?
It'd also be pretty cool in a night shift, like one of those.
Or a Musselburgh hat.
Oh.
And then I got a couple of, well, I think I bought 5 skeins. I might need more depending on the sweater I decide to do. I found this bar at tricot yarn. It was at the Art Fill Yarns booth. They brought it. So it's this is the champagne base, and the color is spruce. Nice. And it is 69% silk, 22% mohair, and 9% nylon.
Nice. It looks beautiful.
Yeah.
I like
the yardage is about, I think, more like a sport weight. So
Very cool. That's nice.
it's a really, the silk in it really shines. Yeah, it's gorgeous. It's feels as good as it sounds. So those were my two special finds.
I bought a t-shirt.
Oh yeah.
I did. I bought a t-shirt.
What does it say?
I don't give a sheep. Or something like
I
that.
love it.
Oh, you know what? I'll give you a picture and you can put it in. It was just, it made me
Okay.
laugh. I thought it was really cute.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yes, we
I
need a
knew I
picture.
bought something.
So that was Kitchener. We had a really good time.
It was amazing. It was awesome.
After Kitchener, I had the Brigden Fair, which is local to me in a nearby town called Brigden. And it's your typical fall fair. I've talked about it other years because I've entered knitting and crochet. And it's been a couple of years because of COVID. So I had several categories to enter. So in no particular order, I'm just going to go through these because I did win some ribbons, which is always exciting. So I entered the Owen hat. So this was a whip from a while back, although the ends weren't pulled in. So I had to, finish it. It's the Owen hat by Jill Zielinski, who is Knitterella. And it's just odds and ends of, I believe, DK, assorted DK. No, actually it's worsted. I use worsted. I remember some of these. So it's a really gorgeous colorwork pattern and a great hat. So this one, a first in the adult hat category. Yay. And in Canada, red is first place, whereas I think in the States, it's blue ribbon is the first place. So
I remember being a kid, never understanding how they would say like, this is blue ribbon. And I'd be like, why is it second? Right? Because we do. It's just a little different.
Yeah. And I have some new whips as part of this collection as well. So I finished my Dragonfly Mittens by Great Owl Knits. Dancing Dragonfly Mittens.
She has a sweater now too.
She has so many colorwork patterns. Yes, the Dragonfly just came out as a sweater.
That's stunning.
So these are my Dragonfly Mittens.
Stunning.
And it's got this Latvian braid in the cuff. And I actually added an extra 2 rows of the background color before and after this colorwork because the braid kind of
got lost.
Was closer. Yeah. So I just to put a little space between them. And also the mitten the front of the hand, the top of the hand in the pattern was not flipped for the other hand. And I needed it to be. So what I did was I did a screenshot of it. And then on my iPad, I just edited the photo and there's an option where you can flip it. So I just a screenshot of the chart and I flipped the chart and then did it the other way. So
that's a good hack.
There. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
So the only thing was to get these go. No, I think it still worked because these were in the other direction too. So yeah, super fun. I love it. I thought this was going to be really difficult and it was not that bad. Because you can see by the color work from the previous row, you can kind of tell if you're on the right next row because you can see the previous row in the chart. And then even on the back of the hand, it might be kind of hard to tell, but there's sort of like diagonal lines. And really it's only 2 rows or 2 sequences that repeat. So once you kind of get the hang of it, it's and get started, it's like you kind of know what you're doing. It was just gorgeous. I love these. The yarn I used, the background color is actually a very dark blue. It's a Malabrigo. How is that looking? Not bad. It's a Malabrigo sock. So, but the Malabrigo sock with no nylon. And the color is Côte d'Azur.
Ooh, nice.
And there's an excellent selection of Malabrigos, a number of bases at Little Red Mitten right now. So that's Côte d'Azur. And I actually bought that at Little Red Mitten quite a while ago. And then the color work is done in a Manos del Uruguay Alegría colorway that was a special anniversary one called Peacock. So we bought a couple of skeins of this.
I think they designed that for you.
it was meant to be. I think I bought like 3 skeins. I'm not sure. So there's like, yeah, green, blue, little pops of purple and fuchsia. So it really turned out nice. And those mittens took a first place in the mittens, knit or crochet mittens category. And they were also chosen, they sometimes pick, you know, certain ones that they have like a judge's circle. So my mittens were put into the judge's circle, which was a little extra honor. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. There's more. Okay. This was the big trophy. I finished the Bridget's Garden Socks by Natalie Sheldon, Remembrances Pottery. And they won first place in the adult socks, and they also won the judge's choice. So that's sort of like the judge's choice out of a number of categories. And so these were in the judge's circle. So I got an extra ribbon for the judge's choice.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I won a gift certificate to Country Yarns.
Oh, nice.
For that. Yeah, I haven't received it yet. Like they'll send, like there is a small amount of prize money for different places. So, but yeah, so these are the amazing colorwork socks. So it's not showing up, right? They're both Stellina.
Yeah, you can kind of see it a bit. Like I can see a little bit.
Yeah.
But it almost
they're
looks
both
wet.
Stellina.
It's beautiful.
If I turn it, do you see it? So the yarns are, the natural was just a natural with Stellina that I bought from Dragon Strings Yarn, and it's called Phoenix Beak. Now I saw her at Woolstock and asked her, because now I have a couple of friends that wanted me to pick up some Stellina for them if I found it. So I asked her if she had any, and she said it's really hard to get right now. She gets it from like another country, not the US, but anyway. So I still have some of this left, and I have another skein as well, but you can kind of see it's very, very fine Stellina, and it complemented the my contrast color, which you can see the Stellina in this.
Yeah.
So this is it's a Lang yarn that I got from Heaven is Handmade, probably like 6 or 7 years ago. It's the Mille Calorie sock and lace luxe. That's the label. I don't think it's made anymore, but I've got a bit left. And I also bought a skein of this. It's a plums gradient, all plum colors with a gold Stellina. And it looks stunning. So I don't know what that will be yet, but I'm hanging on to it. So yeah, so those were my colors and just love it. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful pattern. Whoops, with all the flowers. Ryan said that I have to frame them. No, they'll be special occasion socks, right? Okay, I'm trying to get through these quickly. I always enter the dishcloth category. So there's actually a separate category for knitted and for crocheted dishcloths. So this year I ran out of time, and I was starting projects like the week before Bridgeton Fair. So 2 weeks before Bridgeton Fair, I decided I needed to knit the dishcloths. So I chose a mosaic pattern. And these were from a collection by Amy Marie, and it's the New England Village collection.
Oh, sorry.
And so there were a number of different patterns. I can't remember how many. I only bought the 2 that I needed, though. I didn't need the whole collection, so it was cheaper for me to just buy the 2. But this one is called the Full Cape. So it's like a little cape house.
That's so cute.
And it's all mosaic. Like that's the back.
Okay.
So much easier than stranded colorwork. I really enjoy mosaic because you're not stranding. You're just doing there and back in one color, and you slip the stitches that are going to be, you know, the contrast color. Yeah. And then the second one is Old Schoolhouse, I think.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, old school or church. It almost looks like a little church, doesn't it?
Right.
So yeah. So I did this one. I just reversed the colors. And this is I love this cotton from Hobby Lobby. And it was a dark purple. Not sure how that's showing up there, but it's a dark purple. Yeah. And just a natural.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. So those got a second place in the 2 knitted dishcloths category. Oh, there was a category for knit an item not listed in the other categories. So I had a headband, and everything has to be new. So other than wearing these for photographs, you know, some of my older whips, like I hadn't worn. So this was completed since the previous Bridgeton Fair, but not worn. And this is the Little Pine Tree headband by Cozy Up Knits. And the pattern actually includes a hat, mittens, headband. I can't remember if there's a cowl, but for sure there's the 3 different items in the pattern. And I used I used fingering held double actually for the cream color is a fingering held double. And I believe it is Madeline Tosh Found Pottery.
Nice. It's beautiful.
That's the with the little flex. And then I think the dark is a DK, or it might be a fingering as well, held double. Can't remember. So super fun pattern to knit. And it's got a facing in the back. So it's extra warm. Plus it's stranded. So very warm if you, especially if you have long hair and you don't want to put a hat on. And I got a first place in that category. Item not listed in other categories. And then I decided to throw in, there was a category for an item made from 1 ball of yarn, and you had to attach the label so that I think they can tell, you know, based on weight and how much you used. So I had finished my Musselburgh and I thought I gotta throw that in because it's made from 1 ball of yarn. And I attached the label. This yarn was the Lang Capital Cities series in the Super Soxx, and it is Madrid, which Lisa also bought. And I have another skein of it. And this took a second place in the 1 skein of yarn category. So that was fun. Didn't expect to get anything for this because it's just very plain, but I do have to say entries were down. So, you know, there wasn't as much competition this year. And I had 2 other ribbons. I'll pop pictures in. My gold wing sweater.
Yep.
I'll put the picture in. It was in the Fair Isle sweater category and it won a first. Yeah, thank you. I love it. Now it won a first. It was the only one in that category. The last time, 3 years ago, there were so many beautiful sweaters. So it was the only one. Right. And then I also threw in Lilith in the knitted pullover category, and it won a second. So I'll throw a picture in of that.
I think it'll pick up again. It'll pick up again.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. And maybe
that was a big deal. Like when I lived in Sarnia, all the knitters would be like, so what are you putting in Breakdown? What are you putting in Breakdown?
Yeah. I was surprised there wasn't as much. There's always a lot of quilts.
Yeah.
But maybe next year I'll be a little more on the ball because I knit my second Bridget's Garden sock. I'd only done one, and I knit the second one in 3 days. And then I knit the dragonfly mitten in about 2.5 days. And I was actually up till about 1 in the morning of the day.
I think you should do a goal of putting something in every category for knitting.
No, because there's stuff I just wouldn't knit. There's like Afghans and baby sets, and
I know,
you're nuts. Right? You do it. That's Bridgeton Fair.
I know, but it's so nice. Bridgeton's so fun.
It's a lot of fun, and it's a great fair. So
you know what you said, like I haven't been in before COVID, and I just remember going in and seeing all these knitted things hung up, and some of them were stunning, just beautiful.
Yeah.
With your sweater, but yeah.
After Bridgeton Fair, well, why don't we talk a bit about instead of wool stock, let's leave that for a little bit, and let's just talk about some of our other, what else we have for whips and FOs.
I have FOs. I have 2 FOs that will surprise you.
Okay.
Well, not because you've already seen them, but I have ready 2 pairs of socks.
Oh yeah, you 2.
Yeah, because I haven't knit socks in so long. This is the Zoomers, which is a custom for our Zoom group done by Heather at Timber Yarns. So yeah. And
What
this,
kind of heel did you do? Wait, go back. What did you do with the heel
I did
there?
the magic heel. Just I
Okay.
wanted them done because they're everybody's done theirs and wearing them, and I'm not. So I wanted mine done. So
That's the magic heel by Autumn Acorn.
yes, Autumn Acorn.
Yeah.
And then the other one was I had these. This is the first magic heel that I did, and I've had them sitting in a bag forever. So I finished them. Now I can't remember the color, whether it was on the spectrum or it was one of those ones for autism that Timber Yarns did. So yeah,
Okay.
these are pretty bright
Yeah.
for me, but again, magic heel. I like the heel because you
Nice.
can kind of judge like how I have a girlfriend who's got larger feet, and
Hmm.
I always, yeah, so that's probably her feet right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the advantages of that heel, that if you're making socks for someone else, and also it doesn't break up the color run. So it's perfect for
Right.
self-striving.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I mean, I do like the look of the um
Yeah.
different color heel. I do like that. So, but I do have a girlfriend, the same girlfriend. She wore them the last pair I made. No, that's the second pair that I made with that heel because I made her a pair to try. I made her my guinea pig. So she, because she wears work boots most of the time and she's up and down ladders and she's on her feet all day. So yeah, so I made her a pair and she says they fit great. So
Yeah, I've done a few pair and I love them. Okay, you talked about your Musselburgh hat.
Oh, I know what
already.
I have to talk about.
What?
So quite some time ago, Adrian made me a color fade, and I finished the sweater.
Oh, that's what you're wearing? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so this is a old oak yarn, and if you look at the sleeve, see how it's dark and then it goes lighter. I messed up and I put one of them in the wrong spot, but I still love it. And I made it with so it's old oak's yarn in the colorway she did for me, which was smoke with speckles, and I used a TT Kaka in a slate color from Holsgarn. And yeah, it's so soft and so cozy and warm. And it is the Weekender Light. So yeah.
Nice.
So you can see the colors. So see how it's darker? I don't know if you can see darker and then it goes light. So yeah, it looks pretty good. I was pretty happy with it. She did a great job and I did the bless you. Bless you. Yeah, so I love it. It looks really good and it's comfy and it's so soft and cozy. So yeah, I've been wearing it a couple of days over top of t-shirts and stuff. I have a tank top on today. Sometimes you see the t-shirt, but that's fine. Yeah, so I'm really happy with it.
Hey, question, because one of the reasons why I haven't knit that pattern yet, do you find the neck is too cutting across here?
You know what?
Like,
the way they do it is you do the cast, like you I don't know how to you graft this. Like you
okay.
so you do the single grafting and I find it's not as tight, so it's not like, but it does kind of, if it, when you're hot, you're kind of going like this, and only when I'm hot, but see if you look, it kind of.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if I'd like that straight across boat neck or not.
Yeah, like it's not straight across. And
I
do believe you can do short rows in the back.
Okay.
Right? So.
I love it. Looks great. I'm so glad you finally knit that yarn.
And I also did the knit two together, put it back on the left needle, knit two together, put it on the left needle. I did that because it gives you a nice stretch on the arms. So yeah.
Yeah, it does. Without flaring, like it looks like a normal
it does a little
bind off
bit here, but that's okay.
Yeah. Looks good.
I'm sure
awesome.
Probably from me going like this when it's hot. But yeah, so that's fun. She was it was funny because I was talking to Adrian. I didn't know what to knit. And she goes, go finish that sweater. So I am done it. So yeah.
I love it. Congrats. I know you've been wanting to do that one for a long time.
I know. And you know what? It's one of those things. I'm so happy now that it's done and I can wear it. But I was on Sleeve Island.
I have another sock FO. It was a long time whip, and I had 1.5 done for quite a while. So I picked it up and finished it. So these are, the colorway is the Camper.
Oh, I
Timber
love that
Yarns.
colorway.
Yeah, it has that vintage camper, those little mini camper vibe.
Yeah,
And I did an afterthought heel in just the gray, the corresponding gray. And I think I left it in the living room. Each skein comes with it's in theme, like it comes with a little progress keeper.
Yeah.
So she had the most adorable progress keeper that was like the little camper. Yeah. So I have another pair of socks. Yay. And I actually did a, looks like 2x2 twisted rib for the cuff. I actually really like twisted rib on a sock cuff. I think it gives it just a nicer look, like a finished look.
On talking about sock ribs, I actually did these ones here are 3x1.
Yeah, that looks good too.
Yeah, I like that one. The only thing is, I did my sweater. I did a sweater that was 3x1, and you can't cuff it because you get this, and it doesn't really.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't look as great, but yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, on socks, no one's looking at your cuff anyway.
Right. No, exactly. But if it was like the last one, I did a sweater where it was 3x1, and it looks really cool. But I'm one of those ones that, because my arms are so long, I sometimes have to do one of these, right?
Yeah. No, looks good. Okay, so yeah, so I have socks also. My big FO is my sweater, which we started talking about earlier. So I finished Evermore.
Your revealing sweater.
Yeah, my revealing sweater. I finished Evermore by Kadri, and I was going to wear it, but it's really, the sun was coming in earlier this morning. It was really warm in my office, but it is a bulky yarn. So this is Malabrigo Mecca, and the color is Teresa. Can't find the tag, but it's a beautiful, just sort of a washed out blue. I'm just going to flip my picture. And it's got this gorgeous lace pattern down the sleeve, all the way down the sleeve and around the bottom. You can see here. It's beautiful. Double row of it around the bottom. And then an I-cord bind off, which I did not do on the bottom. I believe I just did a purl and then a knit and then a bind off. But I did do I-cord on the sleeve.
Yeah, I love that one. It looks so nice.
Yeah, and V-neck. So I did do helical knitting, and as we said, I start on the back, and I start right after the raglan increase, so that it's traveling across the back. And I have a big back because I have a lot of stitches, but it just gives me more time to hopefully finish the yoke before I have to. Before I hit the increases. So, and I did helical knit the sleeves as well, because this Malabrigo, there's a lot of variegation in the coloring. And so you can kind of tell, well, no, I did a pretty good job. There were some darker skeins, so I really blended them in, like I was doing small balls and blending them in, but I did helical on the sleeves. And then what you can do is I started right after the lace pattern. So I had all the way around the sleeve to go. And then this, because there were so much pattern going on with the lace, you can just stop and cut it and then start helicking again after.
That's what I would do, is just start it again.
So yeah, so much easier than trying to navigate through that. It's not on this design. It wouldn't have worked. Well, it would have been a nightmare.
I mean, it's easy to do it off the top of your head when you're doing just the increases, not so much when it's that. Yeah. And then, so I wore it to Woolstock. And it was very delicious.
Right before Woolstock. And I had held off finishing it because I wasn't sure if I was going to add more length, because it was really low here and I kept yanking it up, but then that would pull the front up. So we came up, Marianne and Adrian and I were out for dinner, and we were saying how we needed like a Dickie, but for a V-neck. And Adrian said, a Vicky. So that's what we called it. It's a Vicky. So all I did was I did it separately. Like I knit a little triangle, and this is a worsted. And then I started, I think, with 6 stitches and then just did the increases. And then I just whip stitched it.
Oh, so you
to the
did
back.
whip it. Okay. Nice.
No, I just whip stitched it. It's a little bit loose. Like it does kind of, it's a little loose and floppy up here. And maybe I didn't need to make it quite so big, but I can just probably pull it tighter and tack it.
Could you do a crochet chain along the top?
Yeah, but it's just because there's the fabric. It's just going to do that, right? It's
Well,
not bad. Like when I'm wearing it.
If you crochet chain, it'll give it more of a stable binding.
Tighter? Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Because it doesn't, like, it looks like it's the right size. It just has too much. Yeah.
So it just looks like I'm wearing a tank top underneath my sweater, but I don't have to wear another layer under my sweater because the V-neck is, and I know someone else that knit it, and it was sort of just right on them, but on me, it came down a bit lower. So I love this. It's so cozy. It's just, oh, it's the squishiest blanket. Blanket sweater. So that's my FO. Oh, yeah, color was 337 Teresa, and they do have the Mecca little red mitten. And I think I used I don't know if it was the called for needle size, but it was on a 6.5 millimeter needle, fast. And then I actually went down to a 6 millimeter needle for the I-cord. So just because it was a big chunky I-cord, right? I think that's all my FOs.
Nice. Yeah, I'm pretty much here.
What have you got on the needles for whips?
Well, I had these 2 people who came to my house, and they talked me into I was trying to start my mom's sweater, and I wasn't really motivated to. So I have that on the needles. I don't know how to say it, but I'll show you the picture of it. I want to say it's Fornafit, but that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
So,
nice.
And it's bottom up. So I have 2 sleeves.
Oh, wow.
And I have a baudet. Now, I did a provisional cast on so that I can just go do the ribbing downwards. So yeah, so I'm doing that. And I've been pretty much concentrating on that because I want to get it done for Christmas. And then I have to start my dad's sweater, and I actually signed up for a test knit with what's her name? Ryan, what is it? Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Laura Reinbach.
Okay.
An Earless sweater. You can't really see it because it's printed in black and white, but that's all color work through it. It's really pretty. So
nice.
That's not due until I'll be able to finish the other 2 sweaters and start that one pretty quick. So yeah.
What was the yarn on your mom's sweater?
Okay, so the yarn on my mom's sweaters is the hang on, it's telling me.
I have it.
Rauma Filgar.
Oh, the Rauma garn, the Finull. Finull.
Finull. That's it, yeah. So, and it's in a gray, and there's different shades of gray in the color work. She went with the darker gray with the lighter grays here. So yeah, it'll be nice to get that done.
Yeah. And then what are you going to do your dad's in? Is that
doing it in the Donegal Tweed studio in a dark, kind of like a cross between an olive and a Kelly green. And it's just going to be a Henley with three buttons. My dad always wears a dress shirt, or a collar. So it's kind of that. So yeah.
That would be nice.
Yeah, so that's all I've got going on.
All right. I have been working on, I'm still not done Alive and Kicking. I was knitting, adding more length to the bottom.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And now I just I got to try it on and just compare it. I'm going to compare it to the length of my derecho because I really like the length of that sweater. But I mean, it's getting there. So this is Alive and Kicking by Melanie Berg. It's quite long now. So I'm hoping I'm there. That yarn is the silk and linen blend from Leo and Roxy in the color Peony. So it's a summer weight sweater that I'll finish in November. And then, you know what? It's still so warm here. It's going to be in the teens today.
It's warm here too. I haven't got the hard top on yet.
Yeah.
Do an appointment with the top down this morning. And
Yeah.
then I had
We've
to come
had,
home and brush my hair because it was about this big.
and I have been working on my Avena,
Oh, nice.
Avena sweater by
The one that
Jen
goes
Steingas.
sideways. Yeah. Okay. That's pretty.
That's the color work in it.
Beautiful.
I've got a little bit more to go. I think I've got about 15 or so more rows to go in the color work.
I have seen so many of those. Like I've seen some people do it with the lavender, so it looks like lavender going that way. And then you see a lot of people from the Midwest using it. It's doing it like wheat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and you can change colors and make it gradient.
Yeah.
Or use a gradient yarn. And the yarn I'm using is the Katia Concept Linum or Linum. It's a recycled linen. So the content is 20% cotton. No. Sorry, wrong glasses. 70% cotton and 20% linen.
Nice.
And 10% acrylic. And this color is 58. I don't know if it has a name, but it's like a pale blue. And then the natural, which is color 50. And I bought these at Wolseley Wool in Winnipeg.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah, because they had that sale on.
Yeah. So I got those way back. Yeah, so it's going along pretty good. It's different. It's a cotton, 70% cotton, right? So it's got I don't know. I think it's going to be heavy when it's done because it's a worsted weight, and the yarn is like a chainette. I don't know if you can see it here. It's like a chainette style. So yeah, but that's going to move along pretty quickly once I get through the color work. So I'm working on that.
Sweet.
And of course I have a whole bunch more that I want to cast on. But,
right? Who doesn't?
Yeah.
I got tons of stuff I want to do.
So what do we have left? We have wool stock.
Uh-huh.
Our make alongs.
We have to talk about this one. We have to talk about friends.
And then I was just thinking, let's talk about that.
Okay.
So this being episode 59,
59,
we thought we would do something special for episode 60.
Yes.
So what you had the idea, go ahead and explain it.
Okay, so I had the idea. We're going to do it on Ravelry, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to do a giveaway on Ravelry. And basically, a while ago, we did our own colorway in Timber Yarns, and this is it. So it's the Codependent Knitters. And I have one, and my friend Dawn has one. So what we're going to do is in Ravelry, we want you to either tell us something about a knitting friend, or how you met, or something they taught you, something that makes them special to you. And we're going to pick a random winner, and the person who entered will get one, and their friend will get one. So yeah, that's kind of, we thought that was kind of fun.
So tell us who your friend is. Yes.
Yeah, make sure you include that, please.
Yes. And I have two. So a third skein, what we'll do, so this, we will open the thread in Ravelry, and the next time we record, when we record episode 60, we will choose a winner and tell you about it in episode 60. I'm bouncing these as I talk. It's very annoying. And then we will also have a giveaway on episode 60 on YouTube in the comments.
Okay.
So we'll tell you about that during episode 60.
Perfect.
So yeah, it's Timber Yarns.
You're bouncing it and I'm cuddling it.
No. It's a self-striping colorway. We sold a lot of them, so some people already have it. But don't forget, you don't have to make socks. You can do mittens. You can make a Musselburgh hat. You can make any other hat.
Yeah.
It would look nice.
Sleeves
on a sweater.
Yeah.
Yes, like the one I did.
Do you have yours handy, your socks?
No, but I can put a picture up.
Ta-da!
Nice.
Yeah. So that's what it looks like done.
I love it. So yeah, we're going to share the last. It would look great as a sleeve.
With the
Yeah.
gray.
You could hold it with mohair and do a toque, like a
Ooh.
hat, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot more to self-striping sock yarn than socks.
Right. Sounds good.
So speaking of other of knit-alongs, we have 2 going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
We've just closed Musselburgh, so.
We have the 3D one.
The year-long, shape-along, make-along.
Ooh, that's a long. So yeah, that one's still going on. What's the other one? I'm kind of.
The shape-along goes till the end of December.
Yeah.
And the other one is our Love Local. So we've done that every year. Yeah.
I forgot
So,
that one.
yeah. The instructions are in the Ravelry thread, but it's materials purchased from a local yarn shop or a small Etsy shop or online shop, like an independent shop.
Yeah, like a
indie dyer.
Indie dyer, yeah.
And you get a second entry if you use a pattern that is self-published by the designer. Then you can enter the same project twice.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun. And please, please, please tell us where you got your materials. Tell us who the designer and the pattern name is. Even if you don't know how to like link tag them in Ravelry, just type it in there when you post your picture, because it's just nice for everyone else to see.
To be able to check it out too, right? And it's really good, networking for that person.
Yeah, and inspiration for other people. So
right.
Yeah. And we are thinking of another winter knit along. Do we want to just wait or we could talk about it now? It's coming. It'll be a new start one. Like we've done whips all along, but that will be a new start.
Yep, that'll be a new start.
Yeah,
Actually, it'd be a good time to start it now anyways, because we're into November.
You want to start it now?
Yes, we can start it, yeah.
Okay. So it has to be a new start. So not a whip, but a new project that you start. And we thought we would do winter accessories because we did that last year.
Yep.
So any winter accessory that's not a sweater,
hats,
or not a big shawl. So yeah,
hats, cowls,
scarves,
and scarves. Yeah,
gloves,
yeah.
Yeah.
Kudos to you. You're doing gloves, man.
So each project is an entry. Yep. So get those in. And you know what? Just moments of
Christmas gifts count.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be for you, but it has to be a new start. So we'll put the thread up. A new start beginning.
Do you want to say as long as you started November 1st? Because that'll make it easier. Okay.
Yes. And I have another reason for that. I just happened to see the Fiber Friends posted, and they're doing every month they do a little fun knitting challenge. So that's the theme. It happens to be the theme of their November knitting challenge as well. So you are welcome to enter both, or if you're doing that challenge with the Fiber Friends, you can enter it in our make along, because it can be crochet as well.
Very cool. That's true, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Yeah.
And you can even do a Musselburgh for that one if you want.
You can. You can. Or an Owen hat, which is a great way to use up scraps, because you can put the colors wherever you want. Yes. Or mittens.
Oh, those are beautiful.
Headband. Headbands would also count. I don't know if we said headband.
Right, headbands. No, we didn't say that. I have a couple of colors I'd like to try, like color work colors. So, yeah. Do you want to say that one goes till February or so?
End of January. That gives us November, December, January. Yeah. So end of January. Okay. Yeah.
You're thinking end of January. I'm thinking February 1st.
Beginning of February. We're thinking the same thing. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Did you talk about what you got at Woodstock?
Oh yeah, not Kitchener, Woodstock. No. Okay, so we'll talk about Woodstock, but I'll quickly give an update. I have opened my sock knitting machine. I have set it up, and Marianne actually filmed a little unboxing, but I haven't edited or anything. I have set it up. I have started using it, and so I've made a setup on it, and I have actually cranked a tube where I was kind of playing with tension. It's very limited as to what you can do for tension, but I have started trying that.
Okay.
And this weekend I'm going to my first crank in. It's a thing. It's a thing. So you bring your sock knitting machine.
Okay.
And it's in Highgate, Ontario.
Okay.
And it's a room full of people with sock knitting machines. So there's no classes being put on during this one, but I've been told that everyone is very helpful. And, you know, if I have any questions or whatever, there's lots of people to help. So
what a great way to go start and be a newbie. I'm laughing because I didn't know what is it?
CSM?
Yeah, I'm like, what? Yeah.
That's a lot easier than saying or typing if you're texting. Circular sock knitting machine. Circular sock machine.
It's just nice because now I finally know what you're talking about.
CSM. Yeah. So I did buy a CSM. I think it arrived in like February or March. And I finally got it going. And it's not as difficult as I thought it might be, but there is a lot to learn. But there are so many wonderful people who have learned already and made YouTube videos. There's actually a whole website called Sock TV that's subscription based, and they have a lot of free patterns. So I am learning, Lisa, you can do lace work. I sent a picture to Lisa last night, lace work with beads. You can do headbands. So I have actually some sock tubes.
You sent me a picture of a cable.
Yes, you can do cables on it. You can do flat knitting. So you can do it where you, instead of going around and around, you actually stop and come back and you go back and forth. And it just involves changing needles.
Yeah.
But so you could knit flat, and then you could take two flat pieces and sew them together to make a scarf. I know, it's weird. There's a lot you can do with it, a lot more than I thought.
Crazy. That's awesome. That's cool.
Cool. Yeah. So I'm excited. And the more I see, the more I want to try and learn. But my first goal, now that I've done a setup on it, my first goal is to just understand and figure out the tension I want, I like, and if I can get it. You can make it really loose, but there's a restriction on sort of how tight you can get it, because if it starts getting too tight, the stitches start popping off the needles. So wool stock.
Right. Wool stock. Again, I went the night before because I don't like driving in the morning. So I went the night before. Yeah. I met up with a couple of the vendors, and Adrian stayed like the same hotel. So Adrian, myself, who else? Heather and Vicky. We all went out for dinner in Paris at a really nice restaurant. I can't remember what it was called, but it overlooks the Grand River. So we went there. It was really good. And then I had breakfast with Natalie. That was kind of nice.
Yeah. Well, I went with Marianne. So Marianne came to visit right after Thanksgiving to go to Woolstock again. And,
I think Marianne should make that a yearly thing.
She might. Yeah. This is 2 years. This is her second annual Woolstock trip.
Come on, Marianne.
So because Marianne was here, I recorded a little video with her. So she's going to make a little guest appearance of our trip to Woolstock. And I just asked her a few questions about her knitting,
very cool.
Just in general. And we'll pop that in. So I've already talked about my Woolstock finds in that video. So that's coming up shortly. But in the meantime, Lisa, what did you find at Woolstock?
You know what? I didn't buy a lot at Woolstock. I did, however, on my way out, her name totally slipped me, from Twin Oaks. Laura. She had this beautiful wreath, and it was all done like with the loopy yarn through it. It's a pattern that's on Church Mouse tees.
Okay.
And it's really pretty, and I've never seen it actually done. So I've always looked at it and thought, do I really want to do that? But when I saw that she had done it, and she said it was really easy peasy, and she showed me how to follow the pattern and whatnot. So I bought 2 skeins of very woolly wool to do it in. And that's all I bought at Woolstock. Yeah, but it's fun. It was better to see everybody. It was great to see everyone. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like I said, I will pop it in right after we're done talking about it here. But
okay, so I'm here with a special guest. My sister Marianne came to visit to go to Woolstock in Paris.
Amongst other things.
And a few other things. Yeah, we were very busy. We did a lot of little day trips. So she's here from just outside Winnipeg, Manitoba. And it's your second year coming for Woolstock.
Yeah, and last year was actually my very first yarn festival because, of course, with COVID, I would want to have gone to the Manitoba Fiber Festival, but of course that was canceled. So
yeah.
I've done some little small ones kind of around our area, but yeah, that was the very first big one. So,
awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So this year we thought, well, you're here. Let's do a little special interview and talk about our Woolstock haul. But first, I just thought we could just sort of explain. So when did you start knitting? Who taught you? That kind of stuff.
Okay, so my mom started, well, she was a knitting machine, crocheting, sewing. So I learned a little bit as a younger child, probably 6, 7. But you know, you do scarves and you get bored of it, so you put it away. So then when I was married quite young, and I thought, okay, it's time to knit. So I didn't tell anybody, and I decided to make a colorwork sweater.
Nice.
So of course, just using acrylics. And it was bottom up. So I got the sleeves done. I got all the way up to where I needed to attach the sleeves. I could not figure out how to put those sleeves on. And I would try and I'd get around, and then somehow they were upside down and the holes were in the wrong spot. So then I finally had to break down and call Mom and say, okay, so if somebody was going to be knitting a sweater and you need to attach the sleeves, how would you do that? So anyway, she said, well, this is how you do it, but why?
Asking for a friend.
Yeah. So then I had to take it over to her, and yeah, I was just whatever, putting it on the wrong direction.
What sweater was it? Do you remember what it looked like?
It was like just like a Fair Isle chunky, zigzag sort of a chevron type of a thing. So yeah, nothing crazy, but I did wear it a lot.
That's good. That's pretty good for a first big project.
Yeah. Well, you know, you just knit and purl.
Exactly, right? You knit and purl and change colors when they tell you to.
Yeah. But it turned out okay. So I was happy with it, and that was the start.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
So did you crochet as well?
I did, yeah. Blankets, you know, no pattern. You try and make like a big hoodie that you'd wear around the campfire, you know, different things like that. But yeah, the crochet was more blankets. Kind of stuck with that because it was simple and easy.
Yeah.
And dishcloths, dish towels, that type of thing.
Yeah. Okay. And were there any gaps? Like I had periods where I just sort of wasn't knitting or crocheting for a while and then picked it up again.
Yeah. Not really big gaps. Certainly when our kids came along, I did a lot more because I was knitting things for them. And then it slowed down a little bit. I would do the odd sweater. And again, just acrylic, you know, because we had a Walmart in town, and you know, you can go and do that. So yeah, I could kind of slow down a little bit. But then after I don't know how many years, I kind of dropped it for a little bit and was just doing crochet because it was simple and easy. And then probably 2016, I kind of picked it up again. Full force.
Oh, that recently.
Yeah. So, you know, I mean, all my knowledge was there. There was a few things that, you know, you have to, and thank goodness for YouTube, because then you can catch up on all the modern way of doing things.
Yeah.
So that was the start.
Awesome.
And yeah, here we are.
Well, so Marianne, if you want to follow her on Instagram, is at Marianne Penner. And also, are you the same ID on Ravelry?
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah.
Because you are a phenomenal sweater knitter.
Oh, thank you.
Lots of shawls, lots of sweaters.
Lots of sweaters, primarily sweaters.
Yeah. And you have a very controlled stash. Not like me.
Yeah.
And you tend to knit a project till it's done. And then
knit a project till it's done. I in my mind, I cannot buy yarn that I don't know what I'm going to do with. Like I have to have the project and then go get the yarn. you know, or
Yeah.
have a color in mind. Like I think it usually starts with color and then what I want to do with it. Okay, I want to make this, and then it goes from there. So that's why I don't have the stash, and I rarely make socks. I've made a few,
Right.
you know, for the kids in our family, and my husband, I made him a pair, but he's never worn them.
Yeah.
So, you know, buying single skeins,
There's no-
I just don't have use for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not yet. Maybe one day, but for now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we did a couple of quick trips after you arrived. We went to St. Thomas to the Little Red Mitten and hung out on the porch with some of the knitters there and did some knitting and shopping. And then we went over to Port Huron to check out Hobby Lobby. Their yarn was not on sale, but we got to feel and squish all of those.
Yeah.
And then we went to, of course, Woolstock on Saturday. And for us, yesterday was Sunday, where we just got together with a few friends knitting at the bridge.
Yeah.
And I'll pop some pictures in on the screen as we're talking about these things. But
Yeah.
it was just warm enough that,
Yeah.
with layers and
Yeah.
sweaters.
It was layers and fingerless mitts, and it was fine.
Yeah.
Just the breeze.
Yeah.
You know, when we first got there, we thought, oh, it's going to be really nice. And then the breeze came up a little bit, but
Yeah.
we had woolens on.
Yeah. And today is your departure day. So we're
Head home
squeezing
tonight.
this video in until next time we meet again.
Yeah.
Okay, well, do you want to go first and talk about
Well,
some
why don't we
of your
start with what I
purchases?
got at Little Red Mitten?
Okay.
So, again, had a color in mind. And then this is the Manos del Uruguay Alegria in the color Royal Watercolor. So it's a beautiful cobalt blue.
Yeah, on the back, Royal. Okay.
Yeah. And so this one, I am going to do the Fairy Bouquet. It is by Joanna Ang, A-N-G. And the cobalt blue is just one of my favorite colors. So I think that'll make a lovely sweater. And it is
It's a
75 wool, 25 polyamide. Yeah.
So it's actually a sock. It can be used for socks.
Yeah.
It's a fingering weight.
Yeah. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to order some Titicaca from Holst Garn, because they have a cobalt blue, and I'm going to hold it together because you need a worsted, DK or worsted.
I think they held fingering and mohair or something together for the
Yeah.
pattern.
Yeah. So I think that'll make a really beautiful
That's going to be
royal blue.
gorgeous.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
beautiful. I just going to hold it up to
Sure.
see. Like, it's just a beautiful, beautiful cobalt blue color. Yeah, nice. And so that's that. Well, you bought all that they had in stock at the Little Red Mitten for a sweater. Okay.
Yeah. So that was basically it from that trip, right? Everything else was from Woolstock.
Yeah.
So then, of course, we had to go see Vicky at Songbird Fibres. And this is the European Starling.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So I am going to do my very first Musselburgh. So that will do
That would
that
be
one.
beautiful Musselburgh hat.
Yeah.
Musselburgh hat.
Yep, and that'll be good. And and then at Woolstock they had the selfie wall. So of course, we took a selfie and posted it up there, and I won a prize. So I don't have the bag, but it was just like a little tote bag, and then I got, this is Patons Valley Bray 100% pure wool in kind of a rusty. It's got tweed.
Yeah, I'm thinking right there is
Yeah.
pretty accurate, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very tweedy. It's a little bit
A
rustic.
little rustic, yeah.
It's looking orange on top. That's the lighting, but yeah, it's definitely more like a, back here you can see the color. Yeah.
Yeah. So Longway Homestead is not very far from Oakbank where I live. And I purchased some worsted weight yarn from them earlier this summer in black and grays. And I thought, oh, well, maybe I can do something with all of that together. Maybe some mitts, or, probably mitts would be the best thing to do. So anyways, that's kind of the plan with that. Wait and see.
Okay.
And then we had to go back to get the prize because we had gone out for lunch, and then I got the Instagram message that we won a prize. So I went back, and then I had passed this up, and I thought, no, if I'm going back, that means that I have to purchase this. So this is Sweet Paprika Messa di Voce.
Yeah, I don't know. Messa di Voce, is that their the base. There, we'll just show you.
So in the color Cannonbird, which is like
Canneberge, which is the French for cranberry.
Yeah. So 100% superwash merino. And
this is a DK. No, this is a fingering.
This is a fingering. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Fingering.
So again, sweater quantity of this. It's kind of red. It's got a bit of a brighter red and a darker red. And with this one, I haven't decided yet. So there's Little Oysters by Hintermstein.
Mm-hmm.
So that one, you had showed me that one. It was really pretty. And then the other one that I found was number 12 Pole Jacinth by Amy Gunderson.
Okay.
So that's another one that I thought, oh, that would look nice too. And it's just got some lace work up and through here. So haven't decided yet. Haven't really looked into the patterns yet to see if I need to add something to this or not. I'll do that when I get home. I'll look a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
So that's sort of the basic plan with that one.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you've got 2 more sweaters planned and a Musselburgh.
Yeah.
And
then probably another Musselburgh because Dawn gifted me this one from
she
Zen.
shopped in my stash.
Yeah.
And here, we'll get it.
A little bit of stellina in there. So I think that'll make a really nice Musselburgh too.
So this is Deep Stash from Zen Yarn Garden. I actually didn't even buy it. This was, I don't think I bought it here. I think I bought this at London Yarns like quite a few years ago. I don't even know if they're dyeing anything with stellina right now, but it's really nice. Like there's plums and grays and Oh, and this is their Serenity Glitter Sock. So if you're looking to see if they still stock it, this is what the base is called. And the color is Tuxedo. So
yeah, so that'll be fun. So thank you.
You're welcome.
So that is my stash.
Well done. Well done.
Yeah.
Well, I'll talk about mine now too.
Oh yeah.
Of course, I had nothing that I really was looking for other than I wasn't looking for things that I had no plans for. Because I do that a lot. I just buy and think I'll figure out what to do with it later. So sweater quantities would have, like something for a sweater would have been probably what I would have wanted most. And but again, not really with any sweater in mind. And I do have a lot of sweater quantities already, so I didn't want to go too crazy. So I did a little bit of not so much yarn shopping. And my first purchase was this beautiful wool blanket. It's blue with white stripes, and it's their throw size. They had throw and queen, but it's this is a huge throw. Like you could put this on a twin size bed. Yeah. So it's the Revolution Wool Company, grown, milled, and crafted in Canada. And so I asked them a bit. There's their label there. They had, you could buy fleece, like just fleeces, fiber. They had wool pillows, like in a muslin cover, but wool stuffed pillows, blankets, and some other products. I think they had some dryer balls made up. It is not terribly itchy scratchy. Like some of those gray cottage blankets are really quite scratchy. It's actually, I could cuddle
really
up with
nice.
this.
Yeah, just a classic.
I mean, it's not really soft, but it's just right in between. So I asked them kind of like what kind of wool it is, and I forget what she said. They're not names that I normally associate with knitting yarn. So she said that they raise sheep for meat, and then they process, like when they shear them or whatever, they process the wool. And so it's like they're using all parts of the animal, which I think is good, right?
Yeah.
So that's fantastic. And then you don't need the really, fine yarns for things like stuffing a pillow or whatever. So there's a little piece of organic matter stuck in there. So yeah, it's just gorgeous. So this was a splurge for me.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I just love it. I love the colors. So that's my blanket. And then I've been wanting to get a bag from Van Dyke Designs for a while. So if you've been watching us for a while, I had purchased the one with the boat anchor on it and the sort of nautical pattern. I purchased that from her a few years ago. And her bags are, did I say Van Dyke Designs? I think I did.
Yes.
So Carolyn at Van Dyke Designs, her bags are she uses a lot of upholstery fabrics, and they really aren't two of a kind. They're very unique.
Very nice.
They're very sturdy fabrics. So there are pockets on the outside of this one. It has the drawstring closure because with Shiloh, if you've seen my little videos of Shiloh, he likes yarn. So this has to be Shiloh proof. So this project bag I can cinch up, and it's quite spacious, and I've got all my purchases inside here.
Yeah, it's really sturdy.
It is.
That upholstery fabric
Yeah.
on the outside.
Yeah, I really like it. It stands up totally all on its own. I was on a mission. When we were in St. Thomas, I had taken a couple of my finished projects from Brigden Fair to show my knitting friends there. So I had the Soxx, the Bridget's Garden Soxx with me, and those were both done with Stellina yarns. So a couple of the ladies there were enthralled with, like, really loved the Stellina yarn.
Yeah.
They wanted me to shop for them at Woolstock and look for Stellina for projects for them, for coloring projects. So I did the first purchase. I bought like a white with Stellina and then a color. So this is from South Beach Yarns, and she actually had some really pretty colors on Stellina. Is it going to pick up? Oh yeah, you feel like you can just see it glisten when I turn it in the light.
Yeah.
It's hard to get this on camera. So I had bought this for a friend and then later found a color that she wanted more, and I thought I'm just going to keep it. It's really pretty. So it is called, the colorway is Spring Meadow, and it's gorgeous. So that's one that I just kept because someone else changed their mind. So I actually bought 6 skeins of Stellina yarns for the friends. And now the rest is for me. At Yarn Indulgences, that's a favorite must-go-to booth. She had these marl yarns. The label is Wool You Knit. I believe she dyes them. I'm not sure why it's Wool You Knit instead of Yarn Indulgences. Yeah, hand dyed by Yarn Indulgences. So it's an 80-20 superwash, and it has this, there's sections of plain and then there's sections of marl. And this color is called Fruity. I love it. And this one is called Dark Hill, and you can kind of see there's like some mauve, plum, and sort of a greeny gray. And I got 2 because I was thinking I could do a Musselburgh hat.
Yes.
Half and half.
Half and half.
So I have 2 hats in one, and I could do 2 of them. Like there's enough to make 2 of them, or I could do mittens to match or something like that. So that was from Yarn Indulgences. And then this was really, oh no, I have a few other things. Rambling Yarns. They have a ton of Rambouillet. And I saw her at Kitchener. I stopped by her booth. And by the time I was there, there were a few skeins that I liked, but not enough for a sweater quantity. And she said she was coming to Woolstock and would have a lot more. So this is sport weight, and it's very squishy and nice. It's not overly rustic. It's just wearable for me. And it's kind of a periwinkle color. Yeah, you can see there. There was only 1 skein left, and I asked her, can you replicate this color? And she said no, but I bought it anyway because I think it would look nice. I could use it for some color work in another sweater, like a cream or a light gray, but I just couldn't let this go because it was too pretty. And then I did buy a sweater quantity in this. It's like a brown marl. It's a medium brown. She had a lighter one that I think was a little too yellow for my hair. Yeah. And then this one. So I bought 7 skeins of this. It's also, oh, this is a DK. I thought this one was sport. Maybe it is. Yeah, this one's sport. So this is DK weight. And I've got enough for a sweater, and I don't know what it'll be. Probably just very plain because of the marling. I think that'll just suit a nice, like a plain crew neck or something. Some kind of sweater. No teals and no blues. Can you believe it?
Well, periwinkle's kind of blue.
Yeah,
not tealy
but
blue.
not my usual.
No.
And okay, she had a stunning, rich teal color.
Yeah.
And I resisted.
Yeah.
I could have bought.
You had it in your hand for a long time.
Yeah, and I could have bought a few skeins of it.
Yeah.
But I thought, you know what? I need to have a few other colors in my wardrobe. So that was from Rambling Yarns. Where's she from? Does it say here? Oh, from Link Farm. And she's a part of the Upper Canada Fiber Shed. So Canadian. Oh, you know what? I have her card. Doesn't say where she is, but it's 100%. Just leave it. Canadian Rambouillet wool. And then I have a couple other little finds. There was a woman there, Monica Schaefer. She does pottery. So she had yarn bowls and, beautiful, beautiful buttons. And I picked up these stitch markers because I just love the colors. And I think they're really unique being made out of the pottery, the ceramic, yeah. So I picked up those, and these will go on up to, they say on the package, up to an 8mm needle. So that's handy because she actually has checked that for you ahead of time. Yeah. So adorable. Yeah. So that's those. And I found this package of little felted stars. Aren't they cute? They had hearts and stars and little balls. This is from I did double check, the Olive Sparrow booth. So they had supplies, needle felting supplies and tools and stuff, but they had these cute little packages of pre-felted shapes. So I just thought, oh, for my little Christmas vignette, that'd be really cute. Put little stars, or they could be snowflakes. Yeah. So I just thought those were so cute. They were only $5. Ah, adorable. Is this bag empty? Yep. And then I think this is my last find, are these curly locks. And I actually did have this in mind to look for there. So they are by Fibrecraft. I'm going to show you the back of the package because you can see better. So they're just the curly locks from sheep. These are called loose locks. They're mixed grays color, and the breed is Leicester. Yeah. And then I bought a package of, and they have different size packages, so if you need different amounts. This is Teeswater sheep, and these are a bit longer.
That's a cute one.
Yeah. And I'm going to use them to do, I do want to make another gnome. So I'm going to use them for beards, right? I think they're adorable. Instead of knitting a beard, I can just use the little locks. So these are actually quite long. And it's a bigger package, and then there's some gray and natural in here. Yeah, so that's from Fibrecraft. Fibrecraft.ca is their website. So, yeah, so I bought those. I'm just thinking, was there anything else? That's my treasures from Woolstock. Okay, we just had to switch phones because my battery died, so we're back.
Okay, so when we were sitting at the bridge yesterday, Heather of A Finch's Nest, she pulled out her little knitting bag that she had with her, and I just fell in love with it right away. So it is the iconic telephone bag, and it is by Zigzag Stitches, Catherine Wynn, and it's just so cute. So that'll be perfect for Musselburgh. The next time I make a sock, it'll be perfect, or mittens. I do a lot of mittens, and it comes with a really cute little stitch marker. I love it. Yeah, so Dawn messaged her right away, said, do you have any left? And she happened to have one left in her stash, or in her stock at the time. So we picked up that yesterday. So that's really cool.
This is just a great one skein project bag. Yeah. And she was going to be going out of these bags because she was running out of fabric, and it was a fabric that her husband had designed. But she told us that she did order more, so she is planning to make more. So if you want one, keep an eye on Zigzag Stitches and follow her on Instagram and watch for her to post if she makes more. But they're just lovely. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really nice bag.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome.
So that was yesterday's find.
Yeah, that's a good find. Did you put something in there already?
Oh, no, I just kind of stuffed extra stuff for the luggage to keep it full.
Good idea. Okay, so that is all of our new acquisitions. Mm-hmm. So what is on your needles right now?
Well, I only have one thing on my needles right now because I had made a sweater, and I had a lot of yarn, and so I thought, well, with the leftovers, I will make a shawl. So this is the Woodlands Retreat, and it is by right up here. Yeah. By Lisa Haynes. So cables and texture.
It's gorgeous. Come back a little bit, and then maybe the light. There we go. The light won't shine through quite as much.
There we go. Fold that one over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this yarn is local to where I grew up in Brandon. Just outside of Brandon, there's two little towns. One is called Kemney, one is called Alexander, and they're called Circle O alpacas, And this was their yarn that I got at the Manitoba Fiber Festival.
Nice.
It is beautiful. It's so soft. So I made the sweater number 9 by my favorite knit things. Sorry. Sweater number 9. And so it's a mock neck, but I turned it into a full fold over turtleneck. And I had purchased four skeins of this, only used 2.5. So I have 1.5 left over, and it's soft and
It's really nice.
soft.
Yeah. And this is just a beautiful pattern.
Yeah, pattern
Like
just lends to this yarn.
Yeah. How it's turning out.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, so that's really the only thing that I have. I have another shawl on my needles at home. It's got alpaca as well from another alpaca farm, and held with mohair. So there is a section of alpaca and then a section of just mohair. So that with the mohair, it's a little finer to work. So that's like every once in a while I'll pick it up and do it. So I'm not anxious to get that one done, but this one I am certainly will be working on. And then when I get home, What are you going to cast on first? Well, I'll probably cast on a Musselburgh, because at work I have a half an hour lunch hour, so then it's nice to knit. So that'll be a perfect one for there. And then I do.
Well, you have to wait for the rest of the yarns to come in for the sweaters.
Yeah, for the sweaters. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and kind of decide there.
And
But
this one, you know which one you're doing.
the blue one, yes.
I think you'll cast that one first.
Yeah. Well, I have to order
I know.
So once it comes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
So that's what I've been working on. And again, I usually have at the most 3 things on the go: a sweater, either mitts, or a hat, and then a shawl. Like that's the max that I do.
Yeah. Do you have any other patterns that are kind of in your queue or your dream knitting that you're thinking of that you'd like to do? Or you mostly start with, you have an idea, you get the yarn and you pick a pattern.
Yeah. And then when I'm about a 10th from being finished, then I start thinking what the next thing is. So I kind of have 2 things on the go for sweaters already. And that'll take me through most of winter. So I do a sweater 3 weeks to a month, just because that's all I work on, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So it's I can get lots.
That's not going to get you through winter. You're going to need.
That'll get me through till maybe Christmas.
All right. Well, I think that's all we had. We're both drinking out of our Remembrances pottery mugs. I have this is my sock one, and you've got the Monstera leaf one.
Yeah. A little pumpkin spice creamer.
Yeah, and we did bump into Natalie. We didn't see her in town here, but we bumped into her at Woolstock.
Yeah. Yeah, that was nice to meet her.
Yeah. So I guess that's it. So thanks for joining me.
Oh, well, my pleasure. It was fun.
Yeah. And you'll have to come back next year.
I'll come back.
Yeah. I would love to go to the Manitoba Fiber Festival.
Yeah.
Someday. It's in September, right?
Yeah, usually about mid-September, kind of somewhere around that 14th.
Is it the same weekend as Kitchener was here? It might be.
It might be.
Second weekend, like after the long weekend. It might be.
Yeah.
Because I do love going to the Kitchener show, but it would be nice to go to the Manitoba one and see.
Yeah.
Like I've been to Wolseley wool.
Yeah.
But it would be nice to see some of the other farm yarns like that come.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Awesome.
All right. Well, thanks for joining. Thanks for watching us, everyone. And happy knitting. And maybe we'll see Marianne again soon.
Cheers.
The other thing I think we should talk about is the unboxing and some of the stuff that you've done with your sock machine.
Yeah, I'm going to do that as a separate video.
Okay. That's what I was going to say.
Like I'll
video. Yeah. Because it'd be cool.
Yeah, I'll do it as a separate standalone video. So anyone who's doesn't care about sock knitting machines or doesn't want to see anything about it, doesn't have to watch that. But also I'll include, I'll try and take some pictures or maybe some video at the crank-in this weekend.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I'm gonna include that. So it's also really hard to video myself. So when Marianne was here and we got the unboxing and setup, I have to find a way. I can get things set up and then turn the camera on and hold it with my left hand while I crank. But I have to find a way to set up my camera. I don't have a flexible tripod or anything, like a clamp that I can angle at it. So it's a little bit, and they're not tutorials. because I'm just learning. So it's just sort of my experience through learning to use it.
That's cool. That'll be good.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
One more quick thing. I did go to Full Moon Fibres had a pop-up shop at Little Red Mitten.
Right.
Just Halloween weekend. And I did buy a few things there.
Okay.
Well, they had some of their 50 gram, like 250-gram skeins sets, which I love. And I think I have to pull out the one I bought last time. I think it's very similar because it was plums and golds.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not identical, but this is Unleafable and Moon Vista colors. So it's 250-gram skeins.
Nice.
So I could do a Musselburgh, right? And it would be complementary. So when you fold up the brim, it's going to be the other color. So I could do that. Or I could do something with color work. And then they had a bunch of DK sock sets. So holy Hannah, that caught my eye.
Now,
so the first one,
sets, do they have nylon in them?
Yeah.
Okay.
DK sock. Yep. 75-25. So I bought this set is called That Cabin Life. And yeah, that's exactly the colors. So there's kind of a little bit of everything in the big skein.
Super pretty.
And it is a full 100-gram skein.
Okay.
And then the two minis that go with it.
Oh, heels and toes.
Heels and toes. Yeah. I did DK socks that were by Northbound Knitting, the dainty socks, where I did a complimentary, the picot, like the folded cuff with picot edge. So you could do that too. So that's that. And then I bought two of this, I like two the same. So this is called Let It Glow and Roses and Golds. Now I bought two because we went out for dinner in St. Thomas before the show opened. And we went to a fantastic restaurant called The Bistro. If you are ever going to Little Red Mitten and making a day trip of it, if you're not from there, I highly recommend The Bistro. They have a fantastic menu, a really nice, like just feel like ambiance. They had a woman, it was a Friday night. They had a woman singing. She had like just acoustic guitar and it wasn't too loud. It was just nice ambient music. So I bought, while we were having dinner and we were just knitting, waiting for our dinner, Adrian had cast on a new, the Knit Sister tube scarf that we did a few years ago. Yeah, the tube scarf. So it's just a big tube in fingering, and she's doing it with gradient yarns. She bought two sets of the same Shirley Bryan, and she's going to go one direction and then transition and go back. You know what I mean? Do it from the other end. Yeah. It's going to be stunning. So I was thinking, well, that would be fun to do. And then this day yarn, the DK sock yarn, I could do a tube scarf with that. Now, I don't know if I'll have enough. I should have enough to do long enough because you've got the minis as well. So I could do just some stripes at the bottom with the minis.
Ooh, that's what I would do. And then do.
So the ends. Yeah. Like, and I wouldn't just do them back to back. I would do like one color, like maybe do some of the main color and then a stripe and some of the main color and then the other stripe. Yeah. I'm not sure, but yeah, I could use the minis for that. So I bought two of these thinking that I can do that. Or I could do a Musselburgh with DK.
Yeah.
And matching mittens. Or I could just do socks and then do something else with the other skein.
Oh, you know what? You've got me on this tube thing now.
I know.
I'm thinking, I have this skein deer sweater with all the patterns on it. I'm thinking that would be unreal in a tube sock, like a tube.
That would be nice to do color work.
I gotta go.
Okay.
I gotta go. I gotta get my hair.
Well, and then Natalie, Remembrances Pottery, Natalie Sheldon was with us, and she had her sample done of her new Nutcracker sock. So she just today, she posted pictures. So check her out on Instagram. You've probably already seen it by the time you see this.
I haven't looked at it yet. I want to see it.
Each stripe is, and it's Nutcracker, like this, the the suite, like the ballet.
Yeah.
So each stripe represents something. So there's a stripe that's the sugar plum fairies. And so her
Okay,
colors are chosen to represent that. And there were just some really beautiful bright colors. And I thought, oh, maybe I'll knit those. So I did buy some, I won't show them all, but I did buy some Leo and Roxy mini skeins in case I decide to knit those socks. I'll have a little bit more colors of mini skeins to choose from. Gorgeous.
Right. Can't wait
Yeah.
to see that. And is it nutcrackers?
It's not, it's the nutcrackers, like the ballet.
Yeah.
So there's a stripe for, is it the Mouse King? Yeah, there's a stripe. So it looks like little crowns. There's a stripe for sugar plum fairies. There's a stripe for,
I was trying to figure out how she was kind of.
It's color work. Sorry, I should have said that.
You know what? I knew it was color work, but she did that really cute tree one. And I thought it might be nutcrackers, but now you say that, where it's crowns and it's this and it's that.
Yeah.
And it's really super cool.
Yeah. With an afterthought heel. It's really innovative. And there are some really beautiful color work motifs in there that I haven't seen, that she hasn't, I don't think she's had in her socks before. So
nice.
Perfect. Yeah. So I think that's all, Lisa.
That's it for me. I'm pretty.
Yeah. Okay. Well, just a reminder then to enter our friendship giveaway.
Yeah.
And come back for episode 60, which we'll be giving away another skein, and we'll tell you who won the ones in our Ravelry group. And join in all our knit-alongs because it's a lot of fun.
It is. It's definitely fun. So yeah.
And at the end of every episode, we always post screenshots of viewers' projects. So in our Ravelry group, there's Show Your FO thread. So you can pop something in there and then stick around for the slideshow because it's great inspiration for projects you might want to do. And you can also just go view them on our Ravelry group.
I did that last night. There's pretty nice ones there. So yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's all. Okay. All right. Well, thanks for joining us. Make time to make something.
And happy knitting. We'll see you soon.